Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're tuning in. My name is Jonathan Torres-Herrera, and you are watching the Jonathan Torres-Herrera Show. No, the JTH Show. That's better. I like JTH better than Jonathan Torres-Herrera Show, but you're probably watching both because you're probably watching the same guy. All right, so today I have a interesting topic to me that's been bothering me, and it's been bothering me for quite some time now. But first, roll the intro. All right, so let's jump into the topic. The topic being in my opinion, rather, am finding out that many people are doing, and that is to make a mockery of respecting each other in a relationship. So this particular episode is going to be about relationships and how, at least from what I've noticed in the culture that I come from, which is in the Mexican culture, not necessarily the Latino culture, because I don't want any Puerto Ricans, Cubans, or I'm sorry, anyone else rather, period, that are considered Latinos to come after me, because, you know, maybe it's not like that in their culture. But at least in the Mexican culture, again, the culture that I come from, I've noticed, and I know other people have, because I see the comments on some of these things that I'm going to bring up here in just a second. I see the comments. Some people that are of the same thought process as I am. And again, that's of what's now the tongue-in-cheek comedy that people are making of certain memes or pictures and posting them online. Now, why is that a problem, and why do I have an issue with it? Very simple. I believe that based on feedback that I've received, even questions from anywhere from people that are in my family members, extended family, to even friends, and in fact, even coworkers that are not really considered close friends, but acquaintances rather, have straight out asked me, about my marriage. So as some of you guys know, I'm 32 years old. I am in a 14-year-old relationship. I've been married for 13 of those years. And to many people that know me, they wonder, right? It's sort of like a conundrum to them. Like, how is it that, when I tell them I've never been divorced, never been anywhere near divorce. I don't have the typical problems that a lot of couples share that they have. And as people begin to know me more and more, they really do wonder if either I'm in some kind of arranged marriage, or my wife is after all my millions, which I don't have. And it's very simple. It's a relationship built on a foundation of respect. People that also know me know that I may be loud. I may be a loud person. I don't have a real problem with foul language, but I would never use any of those two things in combination against my wife, right? And in a not even in a comedic way where I'm purposely humiliating her to get a laugh out of myself, or for that matter, anyone else around. Because we've had a commitment of building everything we have on the foundation of respect. Now, to me, it's a big problem when I hear and I witness sometimes strangers in the street, and typically, and I hate to bash on the young generation, but it's typically very young couples, which many can argue and say, well, it's probably because they haven't learned what you have over the years that you've been married. And I would call BS on that, because I've had a relationship, and again, anyone that knows me and my wife would know that really nothing has changed from today versus 10 years ago, or even from the beginning of our relationship, for that matter. It's every time I have a topic, by the way, I kind of beta test it with certain close friends and relatives, and it always encourages me when I talk to people, and it's not just one or two. I mean, I try to make it a point of talking to at least a dozen different minds just to see a dozen different, perspectives. And this one was a home run for a lot of people. Um, People that, in fact, while I'm kind of beta testing the subject, if you may, will actually ask me, you know what? Now that we are actually on the topic, like, what is it about you guys? Um, and I will tell you that it's nothing like I'm gonna share these memes. So I'm looking at them like always here on the right hand side of my screen, but I'll put them on when I'm editing. I'll throw them on the screen for you. Um, but in my relationship, it's nothing like these memes. And again, um, I know that for some people, they consider this comedy, right? The problem with this that I have is that a lot of people are taking this to a certain extent and either sharing it as part of their reality, and you can tell that a lot when the person shares the same thing over and over. And I've caught a couple people that I'm not really related to, but I can, because I belong to different groups. Um, you can just tell who either is living this real life or just enjoys this kind of comedy, and there may be something to it. Now, I can also tell when it's something that, in my opinion, it shouldn't be made a mockery of. It shouldn't be something that, that you need to see to get a laugh out of. So let's start with the first one real quick, right? The first one here is, and they're in Spanish. I'll translate it for those of you guys that don't speak Spanish. First one on here. It's a man. That picture, I know it's not related to the headline. The headline, for that matter, is fake, obviously. But the picture is, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, it's probably from, I guess it was a guy that did something and got beat up in prison or something, like a mass shooter or something. This looks familiar. I just can't pinpoint from where I've seen this picture. But the point is, this guy is all beat up, right? Face is bruised up, lips swollen, and the headline reads as follows. Teléfono móvil Samsung. ... El dispositivo no explotó, pero su esposa María descubrió la contraseña. Essentially insinuating that Maria, the wife, found or got the password to the phone, and he's all beat up because of that. Obviously insinuating that, the wife beat him up. Now, here's a couple things that I have an issue with. As much as this might get a giggle out of you, and even maybe somebody even watching this very video might get a giggle, a laugh out of it, I want to take it beyond that, because I at least saw the comments and the shares that it got, and it wasn't like a positive thing. It wasn't like a whole bunch of icons of people, using like the thumbs, the like or the laugh. In fact, commonly I see that there's more people that either share like their comments, and you can tell they're very angry over the meme, or they'll give it like that angry or sad emoji on Facebook. I don't know what they would give it like on Instagram or anywhere else, but for that matter, I got these from Facebook, and a lot of them have those you would call them negative emojis, right? Or reactions, rather, emotions. I don't even know what the hell those things are called, versus like the like or the laughter one. So on this one, what do you have? You have somebody that somehow has enough time in their life to search for a picture of a guy that appears to be beat up, and saying, hey, wife beats him up because he found the password to the phone. And what the guy had, he was watching porn. He had pictures of other women, models. Who knows, right? But he got beat up. Now, I really want to point something out that's obvious, that if this was a picture of a woman that's beat up, at the same level, where the guys are, one of them almost looks to be complete shut. Mouth is, I don't even know which, you can hardly tell which one's the upper and which one's the lower lip. And it would say something like Joe or Jose or Juan or Pablo or Victor finds the password, and boom, picture of a woman. That wouldn't, I don't think that would be in nowhere near as much of a tongue-in-cheek comedy as it would be like abusive, right? I wouldn't find it funny, but commonly you'll have things moving on to the next one that I found, like the toxicas. It's like a new label that I've seen a lot on different memes and video compilations of like men that are provoking a reaction, right? Because they know their wives are, or girlfriends, significant others, are going to react in a very negative way when they say last minute that they're going to go out. I've seen him in Spanish and in English. But to be fair, it's coming from the pages that I follow, which tend to be mainly people in Mexico that I follow because I have lived in TJ and I live here in San Diego. So I commonly associate with a lot of Mexicans. Now, can they be Latinos, period? Of course they can. They can be from God knows where. But the people that I know, right, are I can say they're Mexican or somewhere from Mexico or Mexican American. So I want to make sure I'm clear on that. I'm not saying that nobody else does it, but the pages that I visit, okay, just one last time nailing that horse in the head. And that's where I see these, right? In my opinion, that is poisonous. That is poisonous to a certain extent when there is a, call it a surplus of this type of comedy in an environment that is already very fragile for many people. Not everyone. I've said this before in other videos. When I say things like some people are, weak-minded, and if you're watching this and you're like, well, fuck that, that's not me. Good, congratulations. You're He-Man. You're awesome. You're magnificent. You're strong. You're the best. Keep watching or move on. But everyone's like you, okay? Big guy, big girl, whoever. No one. Some people are not. Some people take this and, believe it or not, run with it. And there are more people like that, in my opinion, from my experience, and there are those guys that are like in super control of their mind. For instance, there are more people that have really crappy relationships versus the relationship that I have with my wife, right? And I'm not saying that just to talk out of my ass. That's speaking with a lot of people, from, again, relatives, strangers, even or acquaintances, if you may, and friends. So I've become to realize and recognize that there are more people that are not like, or relationships that are not like mine. Okay, so when there is this out there, and there's tons of it, and you contribute to sharing this, this is how we have all these very, toxic relationships. And that is not a pun on what I just mentioned about the toxicas, right? Or the wives that are getting upset because of the husband or the significant other, rather, period, is like, oh, and go out and have a drink with my friends. I'll be back in 10 minutes or an hour, 20 hours, or 20 minutes or something, whatever. It's toxic. It's toxic whether you're like that or not, to have this, circulating over and over and over. But anyways, moving on. The next one that I have on here is also on Facebook, like I said. And there is one that says, there's a picture of a lady. She has a red head. In case you guys are only hearing this and you're not seeing the actual YouTube video. She appears to have a face of shock, right? She's like nice blue dress. She's a lady, right? And she has an expression of someone that's like surprised. Like someone probably just told her something that she wasn't expecting. The headline reads as follows. I'm assuming this is kind of like a dialogue, supposedly, right? It's pretending that there's a dialogue. The dialogue in Spanish reads, Mi amor, te amo con todos tus defectos. And I guess the response from the woman is supposed to be, ¿Cuáles defectos, estúpido? Right? And I'm gonna go deeper into another similar topic that goes along with this whole thing, and that is just like the really crappy language we choose to use almost for everything on a daily basis, around words like estúpido, pendejo, baboso, and so many other words that people love to use just for everything, not even when they're mad, even against their own children, which is really, really sad. So there's this one, right? Let's move on to the next one. The next one here reads, it's a picture. There's two pictures. First picture is of a old school, it was like in the 90s and even before that, 70s, 80s, I don't know exactly the timeline. A sitcom, this a Mexican sitcom from El Chavo del Ocho. Many people would know it, even if you didn't grow up watching Mexican sitcoms. El Chavo del Ocho, hugging another character called La Chilindrina, and in the bottom picture, he's chasing her with a broom. Well, the first picture has like a headline, title of El 24 en la noche, which is like usually Christmas Eve. And then it says Feliz Navidad Hermana, right? And they're hugging each other. And in the bottom picture where he's chasing after her with a broom, the other header reads El 25 en el recalentado, and then it says Ese tamal era mío, pendeja. Again, in a second, you'll look at it, you'll maybe smirk or something. But again, in my opinion, this goes further. This goes further into what I just mentioned about the type of dialogue we choose to have with people that we claim we love, right? Whether it be our siblings, or whether it be our kids. And I've heard it from people using it against our kids, and it's disgusting. It's really, really disgusting. That is just not that's not how you, I don't care and some people have told me this, by the way. Oh, well, dude, if you're Mexican, then you will know that's just how things are. No, that's not how things should be. That is ridiculous. That is not how things should be. I'm going to pause real quick. Is there something blinking? All right. I had to take a break there real quick. The camera was doing something funky. So moving on to the next picture here that I have, or the next meme. So the next one that I came across was a picture of it looks like this picture has been taken a couple times from a video that there's a guy that is kind of talking to a girl near her ear, and that's because they're in what appear to be like a very loud club or something, and someone caught this from a footage. I saw the original footage, but I don't even know what it was about. But anyway, someone has been taking snips of this video and sharing it with different headlines. This one specifically reads as follows: Si vuelves a gritar cuando el DJ dice que griten las solteras, te voy a partir la madre. Because I know, and I saw some people, giving their remarks, agreeing with this picture. I also saw, a lot of people upset. To some people, this is funny, right? And because I saw that, I'm like, okay, well, some people clearly think this is funny that a guy is saying that if a girl yells out again or cheers on when the DJ says, and I'm translating, by the way, from what I said earlier, what I read earlier in Spanish, when the DJ says, I guess all the single ladies scream or something, right? And a guy saying, if you do that again, or if you cheer on again, I'm gonna I don't know, either I guess it could be I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, or I'm gonna fuck you up, or whatever, right? I mean, whatever terminology you want to interpret, partir la madre, whatever suits you, whatever. But that's the same thing. It's essentially making a mockery out of what is probably a couple, a guy that is upset maybe because a girl is cheering on something she shouldn't be, she's not a single lady, obviously, according to this, and saying I'm gonna mess you up, right? For what? And the saddest thing is that this does happen, and it's not funny. I don't understand how people take time out of their lives to create trash like this, right? Because if the funny part is partir la madre, that's the funny part, I guess. It's fucking crap, man. It's just ridiculous. It's crap, and it gets me really upset when I see it over and over. And there's another one, by the way, same picture, but someone else, memed it or whatever. And on this one, it says, así vas a estar con tu pinche cara, si no, para irnos a la verga. What is funny of that? Like, what is funny about that, rather? Excuse me. What is funny about that? Like, I just don't see the crap comedy, because that's what it's, for comedic effect. That's what this is. Oh, sorry. My wife is over there. She keeps me on check. The translation on this one is, um, if you're gonna be like that with your fucking face, um, or if you're gonna be like that, yeah, if you're gonna be like that with your fucking face, um, we're gonna fucking leave. I mean, that's the rough translation. Whatever. I just don't get it. It infuriates me because I don't get the crap comedy that they're making, out of a relationship, right? It's sad. It's pathetic. More than sad, I think it's pathetic that people are. This is what now get your marbles off, right? Whether you're a guy or a girl, and I hate to bash on my guys out there, but it's really more guys that find, because I see the comments and it's usually the guys commenting on the crap like this. This is trash, garbage. The other one, I think it's the last one. Yeah, it's the last one. It's one more around a child who, it's a picture of a child washing a vehicle, a white pickup truck, from what I can tell, a big white pickup truck. I mean, the size of this tire is about the size of the kid. And the kid is with in a car wash, by the way. They're in a car wash, excuse me. They're in a car wash and she's washing the tire. All right. So you're like, okay, little girl, probably no older than maybe 5, 6, 7, maybe a really short 8-year-old, who knows, on a big truck washing it, right? Helping probably dad or mom. And then there is a tag on the bottom that says, "Chingale cabrona, Happy Meals aren't free." And it's like the laughing face with tears. I don't know what the hell those are called, emojis or not. I'm not that actualized. I don't know what the hell they're called. But garbage. Again, garbage. If you're the kind of person that gets a giggle out of this, whatever, man. Like, if that's the kind of crap and garbage that rolls your marbles, then that's probably how you treat your own children, right? That's probably how you would treat your own partners. Maybe you don't realize it yet, but that's probably how you treat them. It's one thing when you go out and see certain movies, right? They're raunchy movies, whatever. How do you pronounce that, right? Movies like most movies made by like Seth Rogen, right? That would be one, or even back in the day, it used to be Richard Pryor, right? That's one comic that's just what they're known for, right? They do really raunchy comedy. But that's not real life, and it shouldn't be real life, and it shouldn't be interpreted to be real life. Real life is it's one that you do the opposite, where you build a foundation of respect, right? There's tons of people the same people, by the way, typically, because yeah, I do a little bit of weird stalking on Facebook sometimes. Like I'm very curious, the people that post this crap, what does their public profile look like? Like, what is their typical post? At this point, I wish I would have saved their profiles to show some of you guys. But I'll go, and the same people liking these or saying that these are funny are a lot of them the same people that on their profiles on Facebook, for instance, even on Instagram, they'll have things like real loyal women don't exist, or real men don't exist, or why can't I find? I mean, with different memes, of course, right? I'm just generalizing here the stuff they put on there that I noticed. And it's around, I can't find basically a decent partner. And I'll sit there and that'll make me laugh because I'm like, I wonder why. I wonder why you can't get a decent partner. I wonder why you are putting things at this, that are at the same time offensive to, it should be, to any relationship, but at the same, and probably minutes later, who knows, right? Or hours later, who knows? They'll put on there like, why can't I find a decent human being to be with me? Because you're not decent. Because you find some type of comedic satisfaction out of this junk. It's trash. So what this video is about is to really take a look at the crap that you consume and how you reshare crap like that, and you find it funny. Because you should really take a look at the relationship you have in front of you, if you even have one, for that matter. And if you don't have one, good luck. Good luck if you're the person looking at this right now and you're disagreeing with me or agreeing with me. I hope I'm talking to you. Cut this shit out. Because when you do find a decent woman or a decent man, um, you this is not reality. And for that matter, the last one that I shared really gets me. And I'm gonna do another video about this, about the whole how people decide to treat their children. Um, for those of you guys that know me, you'll know, and for those of you guys that don't, you'll know now. I'm a very, very, very proud dad. Like, I'm sure like a lot of people, I do have definitely the best kids ever, right? I say it, and almost anybody that I've ever met have said it, including teachers. People that don't have no business telling me that my kids are like the best that they ever met, right? That they don't gain anything from telling me that. My kids are well behaved. My kids love education. They love school. They love learning. They are also kids. They eat sometimes way too many damn goodies, and they sneak candies between them to when we're not watching. So they definitely get in trouble. But in comparison, they're really, really stellar kids. Why? Because I don't treat my children with disrespect. So they don't treat each other with the level of disrespect that a lot of people commonly find funny. I don't call my children estúpidos or pendejos or bitches or idiots. So my children don't call each other that. Or for that matter, they don't call anybody that. Right? The videos that I've seen sometimes, and that'll be another video that I'll rant on that. Of like, I saw one a long time ago. I think it's even like a classic now, quote unquote, by the way. Of a little kid. He's a young, probably 3 to 4 year old boy, with like baggy little pants, pulling his pants up, holding I think it was a bottle, if I'm not mistaken, on a, God, they call them wife beaters. Another thing that always gets me. I don't know why the fuck they call them that, but the t-shirts, right? The undershirts, basically, right? And the little boy is acting like he's this big tough gangster, and I can hear people in the background laughing. How is that funny, right? How is that funny? The goddamn culture has to change. It's poisonous, and the more we share this poison, the more we find it funny, either because we don't want to be uncomfortable and face the reality of the garbage that we're spreading, or because we're boring, or because people are just garbage. And that maybe that's the problem. And if you're one of the people and you're offended because I just called you garbage, well, don't be like that, right? Stop the bullshit spreading of crap, right? Just like people are fast to react to politics and spreading fake news, whatever they consider fake news, whether they're on the left or on the right or wherever freaking side they're on. Up, down, I don't care. And they're fast to say, fake news this, fake news that, either to defend the president or to bash the president. Just like they're quick to jump at this garbage, right? Like this again with this little girl, chinguele que cabrona. You don't say that to a child. First of all, if this was a picture of my kid and you did this shit, I don't know what I would do to fucking find you. This is ridiculous. This is garbage. Cannot say it enough. And if this is a parent posting this, you're garbage. And on that video, I'll share how I strongly believe that some people are not meant and should have never been parents. There are some people that really should have never, ever had children. And not because, I'm not even talking about like the horrible parents that, or even the mothers or the fathers that do horrendous things to their children, abandon them, kill them. No, I'm just talking about the parents that speak garbage to their children. They do not deserve, because those are the people raising the next set of garbage individuals that will grow up and share this type of garbage. Now, the internet is the internet, and people will argue that there's tons of things, and if you want, don't follow it, and blah, 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 blah. But that's not how you fix, or at least attempt, rather, to fix as much as we can of society. The society that I live in, that you live in. That's not how you fix it. That's not how, at least you try to fix it, right? If you can't actually fix it. That's not how you do it. You do it by making sure that we keep the garbage to the minimum, right? And not find it funny when children are called cabrones, when men are allegedly telling women pinche cara, which is, again, I said earlier, like fucking face. And for that matter, the vice versa, right? When a woman allegedly is toxic, quote unquote, and will react to the man wanting to go out on a date, or not a date rather, but I meant a damn man date, I guess, a friend date, with their buddies, right? And it's like, where are you going? Where? If you have that level of distrusting your partner, that's not your partner. Listen to me. If you have a level of, as a woman or a man for that matter, that level of distrust of like, where are you going? Let me see your phone. You're with the wrong effing person. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that ever told you this. If you're a person right now thinking like, oh, I've heard that before, and you know who you are, wake up. You're with the wrong person. You're creating poison in your environment, and then you're spilling it out to the rest of us. It's better to be alone. There's a good saying actually, and I don't know if it's Mexican, but I grew up with it, and it's mejor solo que mal acompañado, which is a rough translation of better alone than I guess what would be than to be with the wrong person, I guess. You know, I don't know. I'm not really good at translating, but you know, you get the point, right? That's golden advice. You know, don't be with a person that you can't trust, that you're going to speak to them like this, or for that matter, you're going to allow to be spoken to that way, right? I've been married for almost, at this point, 14 years, together for 14 years, but almost married. Not once, I don't need you to believe me, I'm telling you, not once has my wife told me, let me see your phone, snapping her fingers at me. Where are you going? When are you going to come back? And not once have I done it to her. I don't need to. My wife knows who she's married to, and I know who I'm married to. Married to. The day that we both stop realizing that, then there's the door for me and there's the door for her, period. I'm not with my wife because of my children. I'm with my wife because of my wife. My children are my children. And as long as I keep the good track record as a citizen, there's no court that will ever take them away from me. Therefore, I don't need my wife's blessing to be with my children. I need my wife's blessing to be with her, and she needs mine. And therefore, we are, blessed, as corny as that may sound. And that's what your relationship should be like, not this garbage. So next time, all right, to close out the video, next time you come across a post like this, if you want to chuckle, but don't do me a favor and don't give it a stupid like or a mindless reshare. Either because you want to come across as cool, edgy. You're not. You're a moron. And that goes for anybody, man or woman, right? Help us clean up this garbage. It's because it's not funny. So do me a favor. If you don't agree, then go on with your day. Go on with whatever you're doing, whatever. You don't need my fucking approval. But I'm telling you, I've seen it before from other people. I know there's a lot of people like me, and I hope you're one of them, whoever you are watching this. The next video I'll probably do will be about the kids. I had to do these like really dark, sort of, I guess, dark videos that are a bit more serious, but it's just some of the stuff that I feel that has to be said to the world. And not just to my friends, right? Or my relatives or whatever, the circle that I have. And by the way, a lot of them, I'll tell them like, do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I should talk about this? And I cannot tell you how many actual likes, because I actually like a live like. You keep your social media like. I like to, when I ask people, I'm like, what do you think? And like, yeah, you should do. I'm like, give me a like, bro. What do you mean? Give me a like right now. Like, he's yeah, there you go. Like, give me a like. You know what I mean? Give me a happy face emoji. Like, and then I do the videos. So this one's one that I shared a couple days ago with some friends, and they're like, yeah, no, that's a good one. I mean, they're like, I'm guilty of it too. I feel bad now, but it's true. Like when you put it in that perspective, it's true. Sorry, won't do it again. I'm like, you better not do it again. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for listening to me rant. See ya. Oh, wait. Rewind. I gotta get used to this. Someone told me I should do it. Like, subscribe, ring the notification. I gotta get a list for this. I don't know. I'm not a pro. So like, subscribe, ring the notification. And comment down below. See ya. I'm gonna keep recording. I'm gonna stop the video.